Welcome back to Laker TV. My name is Elizabeth Rathburn, and today we have a very special guest with us, the director of the Autism Initiative and psychology professor here at Mercyhurst, Brad McGarry. Welcome, Brad.
Thank you for having me.
So, first, could you explain a little bit about your work with the Autism Initiative here at Mercyhurst?
Yeah, I started as a coordinator in 2009, and at that time we had 7 to 9 students. I'm currently the director. We have 52 students enrolled in the program, and we assist those students with academic and emotional support here on campus.
You've done some things to raise awareness for autism, such as climbing Mount Kilimanjaro and conquering the Grand Canyon. Can you tell us a little bit about those experiences?
Yeah, the Conquer the Canyon started just as a way to get our students off of computer screens and iPhones. So we started talking about nature and hiking, and that evolved into the Grand Canyon. And then the same folks that helped us take students to the Grand Canyon gave us the opportunity to climb Mount Kilimanjaro in 2015, and now we're actually going back with 8 students in January to go back on the mountain, not all the way up, but going back on the mountain and raising some awareness on autism in our initiative here at Mercyhurst.
It's really interesting. So besides your work here, you also travel around the world and share your experience with your son. So can you tell a little bit about what your life is and some of the things you would share to those people?
Yeah, I think I have 2 different careers. One is a dad and one is the director of the Autism Initiative. But yeah, Connor, when Connor was very young, people wanted to hear his story, and it was inspiring. He's faced a lot in his short life. He's 14 years old now, but we just kind of traveled around, and anyone that wanted to hear his story or would be inspired by it, we wanted to share it. So we've had a lot of great opportunities to share his story across the country and across the world.
Cool. So, and then what's some advice that you would give parents who have children with some disabilities?
I think there's 2 major things. One, Temple Grandin often is quoted as saying, and her mom said, Temple's different, not less. You know, and Connor is different, not less. And not only saying that and believing it, but feeling that in your heart, that your children can get where they need to be. And it may not be the same road someone else is taking, but I think that's the best advice. Just know that they're not less and that you can get them as far down the road as they need to go.
That is really good advice. So you have an upcoming book where you talk about your experience with your son. So what's the most rewarding thing about writing this book, writing it all down?
The neat thing is it wasn't meant to be a book at all. It was our stories. It was the speeches that we gave across the country, and a couple folks made some suggestions about maybe starting to write some of those stories down. So all those speeches coming together just evolved into this book. So it's neat because I've seen the reaction when we've shared the stories with people there, and now it gives folks the opportunity to read the book and learn about our life and what we've been through.
So with autism in general, do you think it's something still unknown among a lot of our population, and how do you think we can spread awareness about it, understanding?
Yeah, I think awareness has come a long way since the 1980s and the Rain Man concept of what autism was. So I think we're doing better with awareness. The big thing right now is I think we need to push for an awareness on autism employment. And not just a charity case. There's a lot of jobs out there that autistic folks can do better than the neurotypical population. And I think making people aware of that they should be hiring lots of these folks, not out of a charity case, but because it's good for their business and can benefit them.
Right. So what do you think is the biggest misconception about autistic kids when they're viewed by people or either other parents who don't have autistic kids?
I think the biggest thing is that they're slow, that there's a mental disability, that they just can't think, and there are difficulties with social situations, but the IQ of the majority of our students here at Mercyhurst is very high compared to the standard population. So I think there's this misnomer that these kids, because they have a disability, because they're a little bit socially awkward, that they're not as intelligent as everyone else, and it's the exact opposite typically.
Right. What do you think is the best thing in your program that the best thing in the Autism Initiative that you're doing for the students that are in it?
I think we're doing a lot to help them socially. I think we're doing a lot to help with life skill development and vocational skill development. But I think the biggest thing we're offering is hope. I mean, you have these students in these families that never thought college was a possibility and never thought they could be employed and live an independent life. And we're giving them the hope and that opportunity. I think that's the biggest thing we're giving.
That's a really good note to end on. Unfortunately, we're out of time, so thank you so much for taking the time to come and speak with us about this program.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
For Laker TV, I'm Elizabeth Rathburn.